Pegula holds off Sakkari in Montreal. Anisimova, Raducanu set up third-round meeting. Two-time defending champion Jessica Pegula won her 11th straight match at the Canadian Open, taking down Maria Sakkari in 2 close sets in the second round. Two-time defending champion Jessica Pegula won her 11th straight match at the Canadian Open, taking down Maria Sakkari in 2 close sets in the second round. Pegula pulled off a daring first-set escape as she fended off 5 set points at 5-4 in the opening. Pegula converted all 5 of her break points on Wednesday, becoming the first woman to win 11 straight matches at this event since Serena Williams reeled off 14 straight between 2011 and 2014 set and collected a 7-5, 6-4 win over Sakkari. The American will next face veteran Anastasija Sevastova in the third round. Former world number 11 Sevastova beat Pegula in Indian Wells qualifying back in 2016, but Pegula picked up a clay court win over Sevastova at 2019 Charleston. Pegula led 3-1 in the first set before Sakkari stormed back in the opener, at one point winning 12 points in a row. Sakkari held her 5 set points at 5-4, but Pegula showed off her Canadian magic, battling to a hold for 5-5. After that, Pegula's service returns ramped up in efficacy and she won the next 4 games to lead by a set and a break. Pegula got all the way to 4-1 in the second set before Sakkari made another surge and reached 4-3, WTA reports. Pegula had to save one final break point in the last game before earning another win in Canada. Another American seeded in the top 5, Amanda Anisimova, was also a second-round winner on Wednesday. Number 5 seed Anisimova defeated Lulu Sunday, June 4, 7-6-5, in an evening encounter. Contesting her first match since she finished runner-up to Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon, Anisimova slammed 11 aces as she moved into the third round for the second straight year. Anisimova will face a Grand Slam champion in the third round when she takes on 2021 U.S. Open winner Emma Raducanu. Earlier, Naomi Osaka came from a set and 5-3 down, saving 2 match points, to triumph 4-6, 7-6, 6, 6-3 over the number 13 seed Ludmila Samsonova in 2 hours and 37 minutes. Under the glimmer of Montreal's summer sky, the Canadian Open roared with life. Fans packed the stadiums, waving flags, wearing neon hats, and clutching cold drinks, all craving the kind of drama only tennis can deliver. And the WTA did not disappoint. Jessica Pegula, America's quietly ferocious force, stood firm once again on center court, fending off the relentless Maria Sakkari in a match that was less a contest and more a tug-of-war of willpower. It was a night where grit outlasted glamour, where rallies stretched long enough to test not just legs, but legacy. Pegula, the third seed and the calm commander of the baseline, wasn't flashy. She didn't need to be. Her groundstrokes sliced through the humid Montreal air with surgical precision. Sakkari, muscular and volatile, countered with passionate screams, deep returns, and pumping fists. But no matter how loud the Greek warrior roared, Pegula answered with silent steel. Their match was a canvas of contrast, Sakkari's emotional eruptions met by Pegula's poker-faced poise. The first set saw Pegula jump to an early lead, threading backhands past Sakkari, who tried to shorten points with powerful serves. Pegula absorbed, redirected, and constructed. A 6-3 set was her reward. The second set turned electric. Sakkari turned up the intensity, and for a while, it seemed like the Montreal crowd was witnessing a full-blown Greek comeback. Pegula, however, hung on. At 5-5, with Sakkari threatening to push the match into a decider, Pegula hit the shot of the match, a topspin lob that floated over Sakkari's head and nestled inside the baseline like a whisper. The momentum shifted, and Pegula served out the match 6-3, 7-5. "I knew I had to be patient," Pegula said courtside, sweat trickling down her focused brow. "Maria's a fighter. But so am I." As Pegula waved to the fans and walked off into the Montreal dusk, another narrative quietly bloomed in the background. 2 young women, both once labeled tennis prodigies, were writing new chapters that would soon intertwine in a third-round showdown. Amanda Anisimova and Emma Raducanu. Once meteoric risers, both had vanished from the headlines for a time, victims of injury, scrutiny, and the unforgiving pace of professional tennis. But now, like stars emerging from behind clouds, they were finding their rhythm again, at just the right moment. Anisimova, with her fluid power game and enigmatic calm, had dismantled her opponent in the second round. There was poetry in her movement and venom in her forehand. After time away from the tour to recover both physically and mentally, She seemed to be playing with something deeper than just ambition, peace. On the other side, Emma Raducanu, the British sensation whose 2021 US Open miracle stunned the world, had returned to the court with a newfound maturity. She no longer played like a teen chasing a dream, but like a woman who had lived the dream and understood its cost. In Montreal, her crisp, intelligent play had dismantled a seeded opponent, and whispers of a comeback were turning into roars. When their names appeared next to each other on the draw sheet for round 3, fans took notice. This wasn't just a tennis match. It was a revival. "I've always admired Amanda's game," Raducanu said in her press conference, her voice steady but tinged with excitement. "We both know what it's like to have the spotlight, and to step away from it. I think we're both hungry again." Anisimova, in turn, was graceful. "Emma's a fighter. I'm excited. It's going to be emotional and fun." As Montreal prepared for the coming clash, fans speculated and storytellers spun their tales. Pegula's victory over Sakkari had solidified her as a top contender, but the future was knocking from the other side of the bracket. Anisimova and Raducanu, two young women carved by pressure, pain, and personal rediscovery, were not just playing to advance. They were playing to reclaim. The stage was set. The present had held its ground. But the past and the future were about to collide in the most cinematic way possible. In the shadows of the night, while the courts were being swept and the empty stands echoed with memories of matches just played, a quiet hum could be felt. Not from the stadium lights or the city traffic, but from the growing energy of what was to come. Because in Montreal, this wasn't just tennis. It was transformation.